grab a glass, because it's lunchtime here at Archer AFTERBUZZ TV. We're talking about Season 7, Episode 8.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Welcome back, Archer fans, internet. It's time to talk Archer here at AFTERBUZZ TV. I'm your host, Zach Wilson. Greg is away, so the drunk's gonna play host. We'll see how this goes. It's gonna be interesting. Guys, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all the places at that Zach Wilson. As I said, Greg is the butthole this week. I think that's what you guys always call me when I'm away.
No.
Alexis is, well, Greg's not a butthole. No, he is a butthole.
No, we call him a butthole.
You can find Greg on Twitter at Greg Goodness, just at Greg Goodness. Joelle's here, though.
Hi. Excited to be here. You can find me over at Joelle Monique. Real simple.
Alexis is not feeling well. We wish her a speedy recovery.
Come back.
I hope she is at 100%.
But
About 3 people got that.
Alexis also hosts the 100. So.
You don't explain it. This is Archer.
No,
you don't explain the weird references. That's how the comedy works here, Joelle.
I love it.
But Alexis and Felix, you send her some love at atorres890 on Twitter. All right, internet. Let's talk Archer. Joelle, first thoughts. What do you think of this episode?
Mixed feelings about this episode. We'll get a little into it more later. I thought they could have gone further with some things instead of doing some of the cutaways, but overall, I kind of like where we're going. Obviously, we're getting set up for the last couple episodes here as we've now reached past the halfway point. So
are you saying the episode in which Archer got waterboarded, in which a group of our main heroes all got hypnotized into running around in their underwear,
which we got a mild taste of because knowing Krieger it would go a lot further,
this is a tame episode for you?
I wouldn't necessarily call the content of the episode tame. I would say what we saw of the episode was tame, though.
All right. Well, let's start off with Archer and Lana, and the reappearance of Slater.
Oh my gosh. Welcome back, Slater. You genius, you. Or maybe just a jerk. I don't know. I have some, again, mixed feelings about Slater. Like, I like him as a character, but I also feel like at this point he should be better at pushing Archer's buttons. And I feel like until we got to the waterboarding thing, I was like, do it, like get into like a real like gritty fight. I liked his whole like waterboarding thing though. Like I'm gonna really enjoy this.
It was a little like just the whole plot line around this was a little loose. It's like, why was the CIA bringing them in on this? I don't know. Whatever. Like basically all they established was that this was his best option.
Yeah.
Why?
Why wasn't this a thing that's the CIA? Why is Slater at the head of figuring out this huge, which you would assume would be a CIA-wide problem?
I love that he found them again. Like again, they were found because of the flyer.
Oh my gosh, that flyer needs to be a T-shirt like yesterday. I'm ready for it. It's kind of perfect.
Oh my god, I would wear the hell out of a Figgis Agency T-shirt. FX. You can send us them. We'll promote them on air. Like, I'll wear a Figgis Agency T-shirt on the air.
Absolutely.
And I will promote them for you.
I will promote it on air, off air, in my personal life, everywhere.
P.O. Box something. I don't know where our P.O. Box is. It's out there. All right. So, I mean, this was a fun... It was a fun plot line only because, like, Slater's just a fun character to play off of Archer. Because he's one of the few people who, like, legitimately can stand up to Archer.
Right, and one of the few people that really gets under Archer's skin. Like, he's so easily able to brush off everyone else. I think, as we saw earlier this season, in seeing his tormentors from boarding school, I think Slater's a little too close to that, and Archer can't quite tune him out.
Yeah. Well, the waterboarding isn't just getting swirlies in
it's mildly erotic swirlies. What?
Super weird. But the tenuous plot line here is They're going to stop a Manchurian candidate-like situation.
And then never explain what that is. Which was great.
Well, there's going to be an assassination.
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
someone is going to assassinate a Soviet leader who we never meet.
Right.
But they track down the guy. I love that, like, when they say Manchurian Candidate, it's like, oh, a Sinatra movie. And then I totally expected Archer to start making, like, Denzel Washington jokes.
I was preparing for that as well, but they never got there.
But they went in a perfectly different direction where he just starts describing On the Town. Different Sinatra movie.
Totally different.
I love how old school Hollywood the references get. Like, they, like, really are just, like, going for, like, Hollywood in the 50s and 60s, like, references
Again, messing
throughout.
with that time. Yeah, absolutely, and definitely messing with that timeline of, like, because there's definitely not so much of a culture of, like, oh, the old-timey stars. Like, whereas before, stars would age out of their era. And so they'd have these kinds of big comebacks that we're kind of seeing with Veronica Dean in the show. So I do like the ambiguousness of where we are in the space-time zone, as it were.
Yeah, this has been... it's like more, I think, this season playing with the time... like weirdness than it has before. Like, other than the Soviet Union, most seasons just like sort of ignore it, and it doesn't really make that much of a difference. It might as well be modern age, with the exception of like a little more wood paneling than exists today.
Weird old school cubicles, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I mean, it's been fun. They're making like B. Benaderet references. Like, I barely know what's happening here. Questions that aren't about B. Donna Barrett, whatever it is. But so they track this down, and it's the MK. They go on the Archer goes on a CIA rant.
Yes.
Like, conspiracy theory next level rant.
Except not conspiracy, all true and confirmed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was all confirmed.
Yeah, you could. I did a quick Google search of let's see, MKUltra, but also
there was MKUltra, and then there's Project Artichoke. Was the other one.
Yes.
MKUltra being the mind control project that the CIA did, where they were just dosing people with LSD
like crazy. Yeah, and Project Artichoke was an experiment researching interrogation methods.
Oh.
Yes. So sketchy CIA stuff. I liked the whole call out, and then watching Slater try to cover up for it. Like, we knew that this was literally just a distraction to get away from actual MKUltra, like the awful things we were doing. I hope we get more. My guess is, I don't want to get into predictions yet, but I have a feeling that's going to play a big part later.
I mean, I don't know if we're expecting to see Slater again. Are we? I feel like he came in, he was never gonna pay them. Like, I sort of expected Lana to like punch him in the back of the head.
I'm surprised there was zero. They were both just like,
they let him walk away.
They're dealing with a lot in their relationship right now. Like, a whole bunch just happened to them.
I mean, let's talk about their relationship, because like Archer is like more and more just like, he's falling for Veronica Dean.
I don't know. I really feel like Lana's hitting the nail on the head when she says, like, this is a mommy complex thing. And it's the whole reason they broke up in the first place, is that she was like... she thought he was too obsessed with his mother, because I think it's in episode 1 where she's talking about them being in bed together, and he picks up the phone.
I can do both.
Yeah, exactly. So this has been a long issue in their relationship, and so to see someone like Veronica Dean, who does have similar manners and similarity.
I believe the quote is, I'm not the one who's carrying around a 45-year-old umbilical cord. I tried to say that as regal as I could.
I loved it.
But yeah, I mean, their relationship by the end of this episode is just it's tanked in the most absurd like breakup line ever. Did you hear that sound? It's the break.
What break?
The break that we're on.
Oh, I get it. I thought she was talking about the car. Oh, Archer. The lack of phasing. Like, I really look forward to next episode, because I imagine we're going to be like we were post-waterboarding, of him just being shook up, like, but wait, where's Lana? And why is she not here? And hopefully more baby AJ.
Renji in the chat roll. Thank you to everybody who's joining us live.
Yeah, absolutely.
Renji says, paging Dr. Bates. Missing the second half, but paging Dr. Bates. Dr. Norman Bates. Bates Motel just had their season finale.
And it was awesome.
I don't watch it. But you should see the AfterBuzz TV after show.
Check it. They're on it, guys.
I'm not a part of either. I don't know why I'm plugging their show.
We love everybody here.
Liquid Lunch. Just saying. That was a nice little callback that we got here.
We got a lot of nice...
paging Dr. Freud.
Yeah.
And she didn't even need to finish it. We know where she's going with it, which is, if you don't remember it, it's from Archer. When it was his birthday, I think it was in like the 3rd or 4th season. It was a while ago. Paging Dr. Boy, Dr. Birthday Boy. It's the weirdest thing ever. But I like that device.
Yeah, we had a lot of really great callbacks this episode when they were talking about brain chips and when they turned a person. Like when they turned a rabbit into a vegetable and also a person. They're, of course, talking about Lex Trexler, who used to date Mallory. And in season 2, episode 2, a growing concern, they turn him into a rabbit, kind of, and they started calling him Rabbit Klein.
Rabbit Klein. But yeah, I mean, the whole waterboarding thing where Archer like skipped out.
Did you not want to see that? Like, I was kind of upset that we had a really rough cut from just...
I mean, I feel like it's too much at that point. Like, what would be funny about seeing it?
Archer's reaction, like Lana's joy would have been hilarious. Like if she enjoyed the process and it was less on, like I just feel we don't shy away. Like we've seen people get blown in the face. Like we've seen all kinds of crazy falls and things.
Hardcore torture like waterboarding. I feel like if Lana's getting it, like it's funny to see the aftermath of it where Lana's like, ha 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 ha, you got what you deserved. But like watching him actually get tortured in one of the most heinous ways possible and watching somebody who's supposed to love him, mind you, remember that these two are supposed to be dating.
That's why it's funny. Like we see Archer
I just
get
think it's better to
see
see it after the fact than to see like, because it's a little too much even for Archer.
I think there could have been some golden jokes. I do not disagree that it would have been a hard line to walk.
Maybe. But I think it's more messed up when you just like see his response to it when it's like, no, this wasn't funny.
It is really rare to see him that took and then the call back to him actually drowning. He just completely forgot that was a thing he did, which again was something he did for Lana because she was pregnant at the time, right? Yeah, and the ship was going down and he was like, you take the last suit. And just the fact that everyone in the room forgot that he drowned, I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, you get the sense that like they probably were like, this waterboarding joke's great, and then like a writer's assistant, like our script coordinator pokes up, Archer drowned in a previous season. And they're like, oh, we're gonna use that. That's funny.
Just bring him back up. We don't have to change anything. It worked too.
It's funny. Like, yeah, because that's a lot. He's straight up drowned.
He died for minutes at a time. Like,
Archer has died multiple times. Jason Templar says, I'm sure Lana recorded the waterboarding.
Oh my god. On her cell phone, hopefully. She could just whip it out anytime.
But she put them on a break because like even when they're like when she's yelling at him like we're gonna have to do he's just like staring off at a billboard of Veronica Dean,
which I mean she was looking good for being 50. She's like literally just in her like bra and underwear.
Forget for being 50. Veronica she looked good
period
for anything.
Yeah, but also not good. They're literally trying to have a conversation with you about her relationship after you guys just saw a guy die. Like, there's a lot, Archer. You need to be paying attention.
And Archer admitted under duress of waterboarding that he's worried that he has real feelings for Veronica Dean. Seems like it.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. And the fact that they've gone so unreciprocated, I think, is just fueling his fire. Just, she kissed me. No, sir, she didn't.
No, you kissed her.
And it's so rare for him to get that no. I think that's what's kind of driving him to be like, I've got to get her. Like, I'm so close.
Did she give him that? I thought she, like, sort of got into it at a certain, like, not saying it's okay to just like kiss a person like that because it's kind of weird, but
yeah. I don't think it was 1,000% unwanted. Like, Archer's not a bad-looking guy, but I also don't feel like Veronica Dean has thought about him since, if that makes sense.
That's fair. I mean, he did save her life. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a very powerful aphrodisiac. You know, for either gender, like, you saved my life, like, you have my attention.
Right. But even after, like, having left the party, like, when he talks to the lawyer, Shapiro, and he's asking Shapiro, like, did she mention me? And Shapiro, like, doubles over in laughter and is like, why?
Yeah, but Shapiro would not tell him.
He's definitely in love with Dean, so that makes sense, too.
Yeah, he would also, like, be trying to if she had, he would have been, like, laughing at him, like, to discourage him. Like,
this is also
get
true.
away from my woman.
She's mine.
Oh, man. Yeah, lots of great stuff on that. Let's jump over. We got to talk Krieger, the hypnotist.
Oh, boy, Krieger.
Just pointless, like, it didn't even matter. It's like where the whole plotline came from. But they challenged Krieger to hypnotize them.
I think, first of all, why would you challenge Krieger to do anything crazy with your brain like we've seen? All of what Krieger is capable of when he really puts his mind to it. I like that it happened for the show. I want to look at all of them in real life and be like, you guys know you shouldn't tempt Krieger to do these things. But it worked well. It's definitely a plot point to get us to where we ended, which, holy cow. Like, we've been talking about Krieger is obviously planning something. Like, we're getting a lot of huge sci-fi background references, which the show hides things about Krieger really well for, like, the uber nerds, which I've always respected.
I love that they're building Krieger this, like, complete arc, like, complete story very, very slowly over the course of the season.
All behind the scenes.
And we got those, like, sort of Fifth Element style, like,
costumes,
that they're all wearing.
On a very
super
creepy
weird
kind of T3 robots with the red glowy eyes.
It was like a weird Fifth Element Terminator crossover special. I'm intrigued.
I want to know Krieger's plan. Like, I kind of wouldn't mind if our next 2 episodes were mostly Krieger based, because where are we going? Like, what kind of big plans? And that's why I kind of think maybe the CIA is going to get more involved. Like, there's a vague assassination we don't really know a lot about. He's talking about stopping World War III, which a lot of times World War III is like machines versus man in science fiction. And so I'm hoping that we maybe get some crossover in that as we go forward. Maybe, who knows?
I just love the Krieger is hilarious. He's like, if I win, you all have to come to my one-man show.
Oh, no. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, what was the name of the show? JoJo Dancer is actually a semi-autobiographical film by Richard Pryor. And Krieger, of course, wanted to then perform a misguided adaptation of this in blackface.
And, somebody else is like, is that blackface?
Yes, it is.
Apparently it was.
Oh, Krieger, please don't.
Oh, my God.
Please don't. But then he agrees to hypnotize them. And I really, really appreciated the part where he tries to hypnotize Mallory for the first time.
Yeah, and she just starts smacking him around. I've killed 18 Krauts.
With a shovel. Like, oh my God, Mallory. And she just gives him the beating of a lifetime. Like, that kind of make you feel pathetic because it's not quick or, like, very forceful, but you can't block. And you're just getting hit over and over again.
She stabs him in the shoulder with her heel. Yes! She's not messing around.
Yes. You do not F with Mallory because she is a straight OG.
I love there's so many fun little details. Did you notice that when he tells them to be birds of prey, Mallory is doing a chicken dance?
Really? I did
and
not
like
notice.
There's no audio, but like I'm pretty sure Mallory must be doing a doodle doodle doo. Like it's a totally just an Arrested Development. It has to be Arrested Development reference. Like
that's so funny because I went to like a lot of I hear like T-Rexes are like ancestors of the chicken. And that's where my head immediately went of like.
No, I think it was definitely a nod to Arrested
amazing.
Development.
No, I much prefer that it be an Arrested Development reference. That's hilarious.
Because like why else would she say birds of prey and she's doing the chicken like walk?
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few other references. I think we went over a lot of them.
the drug we said we weren't going to be able to say, scopolamine?
Scopolamine.
Something.
Scopolative.
Got a lot of street names. The zombie drug, or devil's breath. And it is, this is the drug Krieger used to hypnotize them, when in fact it's more of like a date rape drug where you have no idea what's going on, but your body remains fully functional and you're completely susceptible to suggestion.
All right.
For like a couple hours. Oh, when you wake up, you don't remember anything.
Scopolatine.
Something like that.
Shopaline. Nope.
An event I hope to host in the future, Blunts and Blitzen.
Blunts and Blitzen.
Which was how Krieger planned to lure Pam in so that she could get drugged. If you don't know what Blitzen is, it is a Russian pancake, usually served with fruit. Delicious.
I'd rather do blunts and blintzes. Go Jewish on it. Blunts and blintzes.
Did you catch the Shark Noir 5 poster? Or billboard, rather? Right before they go in the elevator, and they have this wide shot, there's a Shark Noir billboard, which I thought was pretty great.
Shark Noir.
Yeah, 5.
They didn't get enough out of the tornadoes and octopuses. They went noir on it.
I love it.
There's a shark in a black and white seedy alley. He's got you at gunpoint with his 6-shooter. He's wearing a fedora. Yeah. Showing off like he's picking a bone out of his teeth. Saying, "Hey, Mac, where'd you get those threads?" I don't know why he's asking about his clothes.
Some blonde
doesn't matter.
Killed her husband.
Don't think about it. Well,
Amazing.
There's another shark in a blonde wig coming into his office.
I love it. I first pictured just Blake Lively. I don't know why.
She's the love interest for the main shark.
I love
in the fedora.
I love it. Oh man.
The blonde wig is the main. It turns out that the blonde wig shark is the villain.
I would really like to see posters of our movie. Sharks in blonde wigs, smoking cigarettes with fedoras. Blake Lively. Shark Noir
6. The fedora rises. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know why.
All of the things.
But yeah, I mean that was the big.
That was pretty much the episode.
Yeah, I mean, did you have any other favorite moments for this while I go into this stall for time?
Just the reveal at the end, because again, I cannot wait to see what Krieger actually has planned with these clones. I think the clones is not the right word. These robots.
I mean,
automatons.
I still stand by like my. We'll get into that in just.
I gotta stop tripping over predictions.
Which we'll get to in just a moment. But while I pull up iTunes, some of my other like favorite moments in this, like, you finished? That's what you asked, guys. And then you clear your throat. Like Archer's like, he's literally taunting the man who's about to torment him.
Just the fact that he's it's such a long time of like the fact that he thought he got out of waterboarding because he was getting a shave and a haircut. The fact then that he was completely and totally unafraid. Yeah. It's like you're gonna be upside down with water like poured over you. Some natural instinct of fear needs to kick in.
I mean, he's Archer. He doesn't have fear of that in the traditional sense. Mallory beat it out of him. Mallory beat it out. Oh man. But yeah, I want to give some shout outs to the people who commented on YouTube last week. You guys comment on YouTube, hit us up on iTunes. It really does help us out, not just making us feel good for the week, which it does. It also helps other people find the podcast so they can enjoy it. Maybe they're curled up with a glass of scotch, 6 gummy bears, and they're like, what am I going to listen to? Oh, there's an Archer after show. Maybe I should check out the reviews first. That's where you come in. So leave us a review and we'll give you a shout out next week on YouTube. Thank you, Chef 12005 SSJ Bubbins, who got a shout out before because their comment was thanks for the shout out. So now you got a second one, SSJ. Sonic Youth 74 says, nitpicking here, you said Archer mixed up Gary Trudeau with Gary Thoreau, who wrote Leaves of Grass. You meant to say Henry David Thoreau, who wrote Walden.
Thank you.
That's our correction section for the week.
I really appreciate that English check.
This is so many great just moments that like we get wrong. That's basically what it comes down to.
We're not perfect, which is why we need you guys to come in and keep us on track.
Well, Masalas09 says, I still can't believe they never noticed the fashion hairstyle changes from the late 60s transitioning to the early 70s at the start of the season.
That's really fair. I did not notice.
That is a good point. Like, I mean, it's like the kind of thing I think I subconsciously like took note of, but I'm not. Look, I'm a dude. Like, I didn't, like, I noticed them. Like, it's that kind of thing, like, something's different.
Yeah.
I don't know what, but something's, that's how it is whenever, like, a friend of mine whose girl gets a haircut. I'm like, you changed something.
Something has changed here.
I don't know what it is.
But you look great.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah.
You're smart. You know exactly what to say.
All right. Well, if we're going to be here, let's hit that spooky theremin prediction music.
And jumping to all night.
I gotta soak it in for Greg so I can tell him about it over the weekend.
Predictions.
This one's for you, Greg. I'm gonna drink. Predictions. We got more of next week's episode than we've gotten any.
They really
preview
let it
next
roll
season.
for a hot minute. I was surprised.
Archer's in a loincloth, but there's a funeral.
That's who has died. Actually, I have a feeling that it's the lawyer. I don't know why.
Or this episode is just cutting ahead, and this is like where Archer, the robot, dies, and he like shows up in a loincloth because his clothes are all in
that makes
the
sense.
robot, and it's his funeral.
We've got, let's see, we're on episode 8, so 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we have 5 episodes left in the season. But we did speculate early that the pool scene might not be the finale. It might come up a little bit, and then we have to trail after it to try to figure out what actually happened. So we'd be probably right on spot for that to happen next episode. It wouldn't surprise me. I hope so. I want to know what happened.
Interesting. I'm excited to see more.
Yeah.
I mean, I've sort of burnt out my predictions for the season. If I predict, again, I don't think Slater's coming back. I think this was a one-off, like, guest appearance. I also don't need him to come back. Like, it was fun to see him, but, like, if he's not, like, going to drive us forward in any way, I don't need it. We got it. We got our season with him.
The CIA always seems to come into play, though. So whenever Slater shows up, I'm like, what are you doing here? Like, there's always a bigger plan with them, and it usually involves screwing with them, like, as a people. So it wouldn't surprise me if, like, the death they saw was fake, and Slater. It also, did it feel like Slater might not 100% be working with the CIA? Like, he might be doing some rogue on his own things.
That, it would be an interesting twist. I like that. That would imply him coming back again, but I would enjoy that. Would drive us forward.
Yeah.
So I'm in.
I got the feeling with them sneaking around with this being his only option that maybe he lost something, or, you know, something occurred that he can't let get out, and so he needs extra hands.
All right. I can see that.
I
like it.
I'll stick with it. There we go.
And that's a good one to go out on. So, guys, that's going to do it for the AfterBuzz TV Archer After Show. I want to thank everybody who joined us live. Jason Templar, Renji, SSJ Bubbins. You got 2 shout-outs today.
Yeah.
Comics and Otter Goods. Back again this week. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. I have been your host for this week. That's Zach Wilson. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. That's Zach Wilson. That's with a Zach spelled with a CH, the proper way. Greg Goodness will be back next week to take over for me, so this will all make a little more sense and flow more coherently. Find him on Twitter at Greg Goodness. Find Alexis Torres at atorres890 and send her your best wishes. Joelle!
And you can find me everywhere at Joelle Monique. Check me out on Black Girl Nerds for my review of Angry Birds and coming up Star Trek. Yay!
I'm so excited about Star Trek.
Me too.
Well, that's a different story. Guys, okay, we have been the Archer AfterBuzz TV After Show, and thanks for geeking out with us.
Thank you, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.